This is a Baseus Security 2K HD security camera, and it has an automatic sun tracker that rotates this solar panel to face the sun. Now, I have reviewed other Baseus products, and I've generally been pretty happy with this brand. It says no hidden fees, includes a free app, and it has sun-powered tracking system, 145-degree field of view. It says colorful night vision and built to last in any weather. So what's in the box is the camera, a charging cable, a screw mount, and some screws. So I was sent this to review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, it's listed at $130, but I've also seen a $30 off coupon. So it looks like the street price on this is probably close to $100. Now, they haven't paid me for my review, and my opinions remain my own. So the box has a little piece of foam here to hold things down, and this is the unit itself. It looks like it has a 1/4x20 mounting point on the back. It looks like this whole top bit here rotates around, so this knurled bit here indicates the area of rotation. There's a plug of some sort on the bottom, which I'm assuming is the charging port. There we go. So yeah, that's a USB-C charging port, and it has a rubber gasket with a hard piece of plastic on top. It looks like it seals pretty well. There's a little speaker opening. We have here, it looks like some lights surrounding a lens and possibly a PIR motion detection system. So it's pretty heavy in my hands. This feels hefty. Now, also in the box is this little guy, which I'm assuming are the accessories. So we have the USB-A to C charging cable. We have a pack of screws with some anchors. And at this end, we have separate ends of the box for different parts. We have what looks like the screw mount. It's a pretty heavy feeling screw mount too. Alright, so it's a screw mount. It feels like parts of this might be metal. That's plastic. This is plastic, but this little bit here and the actual knob and the screw are all metal. So this guy is supported from the end. So you're going to be screwing this into the end of this guy and then mounting it on a wall or post. And so it has a lever arm, the whole lever arm is pointing down on it, as opposed to some other cameras I've seen where might screw on the bottom. So I think it's a good thing that this guy is made out of metal, at least this part here, although that part there is plastic. And there's only 2 screw holes, so you only have 2 places to put the screws in. They do include 3 screws and 3 anchors, so you have the opportunity to lose one of those without hurting too badly. And so it looks like when you put this guy up, you can tighten this down. You point the camera where you want it pointed, and then when you tighten this down, it locks the ball in place so the camera can't move. It also includes a quick start guide sealed in its own little baggie. And there is a small sticker that you can't really see this, but it's a clear sticker with 2 holes, and so it is a guide for drilling screw holes that match the base of this guy. So you can put that sticker up, drill some pilot holes through these little holes here, and know that your screw holes will fit correctly. Alright, so this has lots of different languages talking about the 24-month limited warranty. And there's basically the entire manual is in about, 12 or 15 different languages here. It has a few product specifications. So the resolution is 2304 by 1296. Input is 5 volts, 2 amps max. Waterproof rating is IP67. And then for the setup instructions, you basically download the app and the app will tell you what to do. Please fully charge the camera before use. It takes 6 hours to charge the camera. And then for installation, you choose a location where you can get the ideal viewing angle. We recommend you mount the camera 7 to 10 feet above the ground. So drill holes with a 15/64 inch 6mm drill bit. and expansion bolts into the holes. So those are these anchors. Rotate the camera to adjust viewing angle and check the footage with the live stream of the Baseus security app. So the text is a little small for easy reading here. They have a lot of languages, but the text is really small. So the manual doesn't tell you a whole bunch, it's just the basics, so it really is a quick start guide, but it does it in a lot of different languages. Alright, so this unit with the mounting connector here weighs 676 grams. That's 1.5 pounds. So they provide a USB A to C cable. I'm going to see if it will negotiate USB-C power delivery. I'm not sure if my meter will even, no, my meter won't fit in there, so I will just plug this in and see if I get a light. Oh, it's moving. So yes, it negotiates USB-C power delivery. When you plug it in, the solar panel spins around. I'm not sure if it's just testing the limits or if it's actually trying to track the sun actively, and there's a blue light that flashes on it. So you can charge it with a USB-C power delivery cable. It charges just fine. I'm just going to leave it here and wait for it to be finished charging. So it's charging at about 8 watts. Alright, the blue light has gone out completely, so I'm assuming that means it's fully charged. Alright, I found the Baseus security app. It has 1K plus download. Alright, so when you open it up, you need to make an account. And it says, don't have an account yet, sign up. So you have to pick a region, and it says make sure you've selected the correct region. If you choose a new region that is different from the previous one, you will not be able to access your device. So it looks like it may lock the device or the account to a specific region after you create it. Okay, I've created my account, logged in, I had to verify my email with a link. It wants permissions to pop up notifications, presumably when your camera sees things. Alright, so I'm going to hit the Add Device button. It's a camera, and it is the S1 outdoor camera to my home. And I have to push the sync button to turn the camera on, and the beep, and we'll have an LED start flashing blue. Alright, I pushed the button, heard a beep, blue flashing light. We're going to search for the device. It found a Baseus device with a long serial number. I'll assume that's it because it's the only one. It supports 2.4 gigahertz network, so I need to hook it up to my network. Now it has a red blinking light. That may indicate it's doing a firmware update. I don't know. The app just says, hey, it's connecting.
Unable to connect to the Wi-Fi. Please check the router.
Alright, it was not able to connect to my Wi-Fi. We're going to retry that. Alright, we're going to retry connecting to Wi-Fi again.
Connection is successful.
Oh, it was successfully connected to the Wi-Fi. Alright, so we can set preset names of where it's located. We'll just say backyard. And it was added successfully. So there's various options you can choose about optimal battery life, power saving enhancements, and so forth, and customize the recording and so forth. Alright, so we have this guy set up. If you push the play button, it will connect to the camera and then get a live video feed. You will get camera feedback this close here unless you mute it. It does have a flashlight mode where you can turn this flashlight on and off. And I'm getting notifications for the notifications because it's moving. And if you hit full, you can see the full screen view. Alright, so there's an event button here. You can get a history of the events. The box says there's 8 gigabytes of storage on the camera. I don't know if this is being pulled from the camera or if it is coming from Baseus's server. So I don't know if the camera goes offline, if you can access these guys or not. Alright, I have disabled the Wi-Fi network for this guy. So say it's offline, it's been stolen, so I can see thumbnails. Nope. I'm getting notifications for the notification because so that guy was recorded, and it might be just on my phone. This guy here I have a thumbnail for it, but it's not seeming to play when the camera is offline. So it may be that if your camera goes offline, is stolen, something like that, the videos that you haven't already watched and downloaded appear to not be accessible. Alright, putting this bracket up wasn't too hard with the drill. Just put in 2 screws. Now, I want to tighten the camera on the bracket pretty well. So it looks like I'm just spinning the knob inside now, so the camera should be pretty tight. Now I'm going to loosen the bracket and point it kind of where I want it pointed, and then tighten this guy up. Alright, it looks like it's going to mostly stay there. Now I'm going to have to check the phone app and make sure it's actually pointing where I want it. So we can make an activity zone, and it will detect motion in that zone. So for example, you could exclude the neighbor's part of the yard by only highlighting your areas of the yard. And you can exclude the roof if you're not worried about capturing motion on your roof. You can, do this so that it doesn't get birds and things flying by on too high up. I've had this guy installed for a while, and it works pretty well given a couple of caveats. It has to be pretty close to your Wi-Fi router. They claim a 10 meter or 30-foot range. I've had it work a little bit farther than that, but I've also tried putting it on a pole, 150 feet away from my router, and it just, really did not work at that distance. It doesn't have an external antenna. The antenna is internal, and I think it could really benefit from having, one of those antennas that kind of sticks out and pokes up. So as long as you're looking to mount it like on your house or really close to the side of the house with the Wi-Fi router, the Wi-Fi works pretty well, but I have had issues where it didn't want to connect to an inexpensive Wi-Fi repeater. It really only worked with my router, the main router in my house. The mounting system works if you tighten this ring down enough, but to do that, I had to use a pair of channel locks. You can see this is kind of bent here, so when it's out and kind of at an angle, all of this weight is pulling down on that thing, so it wants to rotate it. And so you really do have to tighten this guy down to lock it in place. Now once you do, it locked in place, it held it just fine. I was able to take it off again with the channel locks. I'm going to put it back on again after I film the video. But you do have to lock that thing down pretty well to keep it from, there's a lot of torque on that guy just because this long arm is hanging out from it. So if you want something that does not require a paid service, I don't believe it really uses a cloud service at all. I think the app talks directly to this guy and it has some memory on board. So I've never had it miss a notification. It's always notified me, hey, there's motion there. However, there's a few times where the recording seems to cut out. So somebody walks up and you get 3 or 4 seconds of them walking up, but it doesn't keep recording as they walk off again. It also takes a few seconds to start recording, maybe just a second or so, but I'll get video of somebody walking away from the door. They came out of the door, they walked away, and you record video, you get a picture of them, but it's, they're halfway down away from the door by the time it starts recording that. So it's not super snappy in starting the recording. So it's pretty functional given a couple of little nits there. So power-wise, I had it kind of under a tree where it got a little bit of sun, but not a whole bunch, and it stayed at 99% the whole time. The charging graph kind of only showed it charged for 1 day, when it was back up to 99%. So it seems like if you're only getting 4 or 5 or maybe 6 or 7 activations a day, the solar panel can easily keep it charged up, even in not great solar conditions.